I want those who are listening to consider this astonishing realization that those of you who have come along on the planet since 1950 have lived your entire life in what geologists now refer to as the Anthropocene. Now, some of us have our roots in the Holocene. That's the time before 1950, a time when humans had already had an impact on the planet, but the evidence was not written in stone yet. But starting in the middle of the 20th century, our impact had become sufficiently durable and notable that we are officially in a new geological time. It's rather stunning to think that I have lived in two geological epochs. I mean, I've been around for a long time, but when you put it that way, I mean, eat your heart out, dinosaurs, you know. You lived in one big period, I have spanned two. But I'm not very happy about it, actually. If I had my way, we humans would have recognized sooner that we have to really respect the natural systems that keep us alive. On the other hand, I have to say, although humans are really smart, you might even say we're intelligent, and in some cases we go beyond that and we have a sensitivity beyond just being intelligent. We actually have something that we think that we have that's special, an ability to empathize with other humans and other creatures. We call that being humane. As it turns out, we're not unique in that respect. We now know. But there was a time when we thought we were so special that only humans could think beyond our own skin, our own body, or to anticipate the future. But one thing we do have that's special is being able to not only learn as we grow from being children to being so-called grown-ups, but we have the ability to learn from the experience of our predecessors. Well, humans are not unique in that either. Birds learn from other birds, and some information is conveyed from one generation to another. We know that's true with whales. We didn't always know that, but now we know what other animals can't know. We know about them, details of their life history. It's taken a lot of people a very long time to gather information about the nature of the world. But think about what you know, what kids of today know, that nobody could know back during the first circumnavigation of the world 500 years ago. Nobody had been to the moon. Nobody had developed the means to communicate the way we're communicating right now, so that information that's new gets transmitted, like becomes a part of common knowledge overnight. What a concept. What a concept. We are so fortunate to be around in the 21st century, armed with the accumulated knowledge of all preceding history that's now accessible one form or another. The libraries, museums, data banks that you can access. It's the best hope for the ocean, the best hope for the future of humankind. That's the power, the superpower of knowing what we now know. But even though the knowledge is there, that the ocean is in trouble because of what humans have put into the ocean over the ages, but never as much or as quickly as during the Anthropocene since the 1950s. It was about the time that plastics were invented in the middle of the 20th century. And there's this explosion of these useful materials that we somehow could not, despite our intelligence, despite the knowledge, despite the evidence, we had this impression that we could throw things into the ocean and it would go away. Out of sight, out of mind. Well, ask anybody who lives on, around, or especially those of us who've been privileged to go under the sea. What we threw away in the 1950s is still there. It's not, there's no way. Plastics are extremely durable. And that's not the only problem. It's also what we're taking out of the ocean. And it's not the only problem about what we're putting into the ocean either. The excess carbon dioxide that we've generated largely since the 1950s, but going back, I have a visitor here. But he wants to hear this. He wants to meet you. And this is a seagoing feline, a catfish. The thing is that now we know that excess carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide in the atmosphere is warming the planet faster than it has in a very, very long time. Well, faster than any time that we really know about, with consequences to the ocean, consequences to all of life on Earth, including, of course, us. But the fact that the ocean turns excess carbon dioxide into carbonic acid, more that the ocean has absorbed a great deal of the CO2 and the excess heat, the warmth, helping to stabilize the planet in a way that perhaps has lulled us into complacency. But here we are, again, with evidence, using our intelligence, looking at information that has been gathered all over the world that we can now see as no humans ever could see in times past. We're in trouble if the ocean is in trouble because of what we put in and because of the phenomenal success that we've had in extracting life out of the ocean and selling it, eating it, but also taking it and selling it, using the ocean as a source of products, sand, oil, gas, but also life. It's remarkable, isn't it, that a single tuna fish can sell in today's markets for as much as $1 million? There's something a little bit wrong with this picture when you take an animal that some would take up as food, but you instead turn it into money, like selling the ivory from an elephant, turning it into money. But people have yet to cross that line of looking at life in the ocean as wildlife, as something more. Now, not talking to this audience, because I think if you're tuned in on World Ocean Day to hear about the ocean with the Ocean Geographic Society, with Michael Awe, and with Alex Rose, and the company that is here to talk about the ocean today, you are better informed than most. You see life in the ocean in the way that not everybody gets to see. I think one of the reasons that I personally feel privileged to be here talking and listening to you, to the panel, to those who are going to be speaking, is that we share that special sense of knowing from having immersed ourselves in the ocean. We have witnessed, we're all witnesses, that we should be able to share, but there's no, and I really am grateful to all of you who bring back images, who paint, who use your art, who use photographs to share the view. There's no substitute for being there. And like many of you who are tuning in, I've spent thousands of hours as a witness to life in the ocean, getting to see animals. I thought I was there to watch the whales. I find the whales are watching me. I thought I was there to look at the sharks. And guess what? The sharks are curious. They come zooming around to check me out. Not as many as there were when I first began exploring the ocean. When I first took the plunge, I was warned, watch out, watch out, be careful. The sharks might eat you. Well, actually, Marsha, Alex, Alex Rose and I, and probably half the people tuning in here, don't have to worry about man-eating sharks. We don't qualify. But I did listen, and I initially felt fear when I saw sharks. Now I feel fear when I don't see sharks. So many have been taken for their fins, for their meat, for sport, or as bycatch in the process of catching other fish that are taken to market. Sharks are among those that are often extracted as well. I fear when I go into the ocean that I won't see healthy coral reefs because I'm a witness to a time when everywhere that I saw coral reefs, they were in pretty good shape. Now they're increasingly rare. But we have the unprecedented gift of knowing, and we have another gift, the gift of time. Not a lot, but the next 10 years on our watch, at least most of us will have the opportunity to use our power of knowing. Whatever your individual power is, no one has the same gift, but together we can go from planetary decline, ocean decline, and turn the corner. It's not a corner. Shape the slope from decline to recovery to a time when we really will make peace with the ocean, make peace with nature, make peace with the planet that keeps us alive. So, here on World Ocean Day 2021, I want to salute all of you who are doing what you're doing in ever so many ways, looking in the mirror, finding out who you are, identifying what gift you have to give back to the natural world, mostly blue world, to take care of those systems as if your life depends on it. Because of course, now we know that our lives do depend on nature, mostly on the blue part of the planet, mostly the ocean. Now, I look forward to hearing what others have to say and to be inspired to take this moment in time and look back and say, well, that was then. That was before this turning point. And I look forward to turning in the other direction where I see hope, hope for exploring and caring for the ocean while we still have time. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, all of you. Let's all go dive in, and enjoy the blue part of the planet.
Thank you, Sylvia. That was really precious. Thank you so much for the message. Thank you. Will you stay with us for a while we celebrate your category that's named for you and the picture you selected to win the One Ocean Sylvia One Ocean Award? Please stay with us, Alex.
I'm here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Sylvia, for opening up World Oceans Day Eve for those of us in the United States, where it's still the 7th. I can't think of a better way to start off the celebrations. So thank you for doing that for us.